Joe Biden and Xi Jinping's relationship goes back 12 years, but it's never been as frosty as it is now. While the two leaders have spoken 7 times since 2021, it's been a year since their last conversation in Bali, when Indonesia hosted the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC Summit. The Chinese president opted to forego the G20 meeting in India earlier this year. Trump-era tariffs on steel, aluminum, electronics, and other goods remain in place. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan last year resulted in Beijing downgrading military-to-military communications with Washington. But it was the Pentagon's takedown of a Chinese spy balloon back in February that all but severed this delicate relationship between the world's two superpowers. Now, here in San Francisco, officials on both sides say Biden and Xi are seeking ways to better manage this highly competitive relationship.
The U.S. debate is getting set in these partisan terms between the Biden administration, which says it wants diplomacy, and its critics in the Republican Party who say that that constitutes humiliating concession to China. This debate, I think, is highly unproductive. Of course, we should be engaged in diplomatic communication with China. The question is what the substance should be.
Biden administration officials say that substance will include reopening crisis communications between the two countries for a start.
The United States is very concerned about technology transfer to China. The United States has been very aggressive in pushing restrictions on semiconductors, and that's been a very important issue for us because we're very concerned about the transfer of technology to China, potentially for defense purposes.
It'd be great if there could be some statement from the two leaders on Taiwan specifically, a firm Chinese commitment to peaceful unification as a top priority with no deadline for unification, and a U.S. commitment to its one China policy.
There's also the fast deteriorating situation between Israel and Gaza. Administration officials say Biden intends to ask Xi to warn Iran about escalation in the region. This highly anticipated meeting is expected to steal the spotlight from an economic summit that accounts for more than 60% of global GDP. While Washington wants to brand itself as the most dynamic economic partner for the Asia-Pacific, its regional partners say they're eager to benefit from what they now see as a multipolar world instead. Yasmine El-Sabawi, TRT World, San Francisco.